All right. First off, my name is Samuel Venegas, and this video is about the 5 global trends that companies or just mainly any work industry, I believe, is going to have to watch out for. They're going to have to be very conscious of these global trends because this is something that, I mean, like the name says it, it's a global trend. It's something that is going to impact and affect everybody on the planet. Um, well, maybe not everybody. There's probably some countries here and there that just aren't really with the rest of us. But we can comfortably say that the majority of humanity is going to be affected by these trends and these new up and coming ideas and all this stuff. So first off, we're starting off very strong, and this is a big one. It's already here. It's already making an impact. I mean, people are. Me personally, I haven't looked at things the same. I mean, I feel like I kind of have a different perspective towards everything ever since this happened. Like, I don't think I've been the same ever since this happened. So, well, the first thing that I want to talk about is artificial intelligence, AI. Yup, it's here. So, as I'm sure you've heard of, we now have this platform known as Chat GPT, and it's like open AI. It's a playground, so it's that's what it is. It's in the name. It's artificial intelligence. It's real. It's here. You can ask it anything. You can ask it to write you an essay. You can ask it to do your homework for you. I mean, obviously you have to ask. It's still a learning program right now. It is fairly new. That's very. I mean, it's very interesting. From what I've kind of been, talking around with people, it's not very known. It's not very known. Maybe in other countries like the USA, it is very known right now because I mean, universities have already taken action towards this AI. Obviously, it's extremely easy for an AI to write, a paper that would take you, gosh, 2 hours, probably longer, depending on how efficient you are. I mean, this thing can do it in a matter of seconds. And I mean, it's literally been designed to not be like, traditional AI because we've been surrounded by AI all our life in reality. Like, I mean, literally, movies. I mean, since the I can remember like the first Avatar movie, dude, that used a lot of AI. Movies use a lot of AI. Our phones use a lot of AI. There's AI all around us. It's just not in the form that we can really tell or kind of, just kind of know the gravity of the situation. It's AI, and we're just like, oh, we don't look at it like that's artificial intelligence right there. That took somebody coding this and that. Like we don't look at it. It's just a movie. However, when it comes in this form, it definitely does change things. So now it's different. Now you can interact with it. Now it's open for everybody. This platform right now is free. There's a very specific reason why it's free right now. People don't do, you know, I mean, this platform wouldn't be free if it was at the point where the creators want it to be. Because it's an AI and it does have to learn, it's free because of that reason, because it's learning. Every single interaction that every person ever has with this AI, it learns. It keeps gathering data and it's just going to keep getting better and better. I'm thinking, well, I'm predicting that we're going to have this free version of this AI for a minute. And then this first one, this first original Chat GPT, the one that's everybody's talking about, it will be the first to mm, charge its users to use it. Since it's probably gonna be the first one. That's a very big thing because there is other AI platforms, but they're harder to use. This AI it's been simplified. It's been designed to, give human-like answers, to kind of think like us, to just, you know, really just adapt to our level of intellectual level, if that makes any sense. Because there is AI that's way more advanced, and people don't really know how to use it. But this one came out, and it's the first. That's, I think, what is the main thing here. It's the first one doing this, where it's like globally. I mean, this is the fastest growing platform. ChatGPT, I think, had 1 million users in about, what was it, like 4 hours. I mean, that surpassed literally anything ever. Like, any platform you could think of has not gained 1 million users in less than 24 hours, or probably less than 24 hours. I mean, I can think of some stuff, but either way, it's very impressive. So where I'm going with this is that obviously there has been some people that are taking action towards it, like universities in the USA have already come with a sort of a proofreader for AI. I mean, since AI technically is code, and a computer can recognize another computer, like, you get what I mean. I mean, a code can recognize when something has been written in code. No matter how programmed it is to sound like humans, you know, there's code involved in it. And if there's code involved, then it can be told and it can be noticed. So there's already some technology that's been developed pretty much to proofread those papers or any homework that these students might have, but it will detect if they use AI. So that's already a thing, and because of that, like, that's, I mean, when do you see action being taken that fast? I mean, that's how powerful this thing is. It's definitely going to change a lot of the way we live. It's going to take jobs, guaranteed, that's for sure. It's going to take a lot of jobs. I mean, straight off the top of my head, virtual assistants. Sooner or later, in a few years, why are you going to need a real assistant that you can pay and that has to eat and human necessities, when you can have a Jarvis like Iron Man? Or you get what I mean? I mean, it's going to take jobs. It's going to revolutionize a lot of the way that we do things. Work industries are definitely not going to be the same. That's why it's going to affect so much, because it's just going to keep growing. I mean, I think people kind of see the tip of the iceberg, but that's what it is. It's the tip of the iceberg. Chat AI is, I don't even think that's an iceberg. That at this point, AI is like a whole ice age that is waiting to be unfolded. So it's scary, but I mean, we are early. That's kind of the advantage that I see right now, is that we are very, very early into this AI movement right now. I mean, if somebody can take action right now and think of business ideas that you can implement with I mean, you're pretty much golden. That's kind of what I'm trying to do, if I'm being honest. I'm trying to think of something to do, because, AI is just going to keep getting better and better. And if you come up with a business that is successful right now with better evolving AI, it's only going to get that much better. So that was number one. Number two is the underpopulation problem. There's been a lot of talk about this. So Japan is at risk of, like, literally not being a functional society, because they're not having kids. Nobody wants to have kids, and the underpopulation problem is, I believe, it's kind of tied up with some of the trends that I'm gonna mention here in a minute, because I mean, people are just simply, they're tired. Like, it's not like before. I mean, these new generations are coming up, and I mean, we're not dumb. Like, we're we don't want to go and get ourselves in debt with kids and all this stuff. Like, I mean, it's very, very different generations. We feel like kids tie us down. We feel like a kid is simply going to stop you from growing. I mean, we see a kid and we just automatically think all the negative things. We obviously don't see the good side in that. And that's because of how old we are and our age. I mean, we have access to all these things except, you know, wanting kids. So it's just, I mean, people have figured it out, like if I don't have kids, I can have more money for myself. And, no, I guess nobody really realizes that what if everybody has that same thought? What if everybody thinks the same is, oh, well, I'm not going to have kids, more money for myself. Well, yeah, we're just going to end up like Europe or what is it, Italy or one of the where there's just all old people. That's how we're gonna end up. It's going to be. I mean, It's definitely something that companies have to be looking out for. I mean, you have to know like, Japan is on the verge of not even functioning as a society. So why would you go invest in Japan if they're about to fail? You get what I mean? So that is something you have to look out for. And next order of business, we have that. Well, this is kind of all right. So what this is kind of a change in the workforce. Like the baby boomers are retiring, and the new generation is coming up. This is kind of tied up with my last point, because like I said, this new generation is coming up. We have completely different ideas. Like I would say, I'm included in the new generation. I'm coming up. I got a job. It's gonna be me up there in the future doing these things. So I'm saying that we simply look out for ourselves. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. Everybody is selfish at this point. Everybody has a lot of options, and people always want to be on top. I mean, I think it's just a very, very competitive market. Like, we don't want to have, like, okay, I think everybody's goal is simply just to be rich, right? Everybody just wants to live that lifestyle. They just want to be on top. Well, in order to do that, you got to have money, you got to be making boss moves out here. So with the baby boomers retiring and an entire generation of a cultured workforce leaving, I mean, what's to expect? Like, it's going to be completely different. It's not, these old guys, they're not going to be coming in here and happily doing their job and just thinking about what they're going to eat later for dinner. No, now it's going to be, these kids that come in here and say, where can I go to get more money? Like, what can I do to get paid more? What can I do to be worth more? Like, this is not enough for me. I'm not satisfied. And that's what I think companies have to look out for, because sorry, this new generation does not get satisfied. We always want more. I mean, we just kind of line our life up to get to where we want, and everybody wants to be successful, so that's what everybody's doing. Next up is, okay, so these three are very, very similar to each other. Is, big changes in the workforce, mainly because people are starting to realize that education may not be the choice for them. I mean, it is starting to be very, very openly accepted that school is not for everybody. A few years ago, if you did not go to school, you're a failure. You have failed at life. Why even bother? Just go be a homeless. But now, I mean, people are realizing, like, hey, why would I, you know, get out of a 4 year high school that I'm not going to say absolutely hated, but I mean, the majority of kids don't want to be there, really. School is not a fun experience. It's more of something that we're forced to do rather than something that we want to do. So, why would, people, I guess, started just realizing, like, get out of something that I just hated, finally got myself free from that. But why would I? Now, hear me out. I'm gonna go this time. I'm gonna submit myself in the same process, 4-year plan, except this time I'm gonna pay loads of money, and I'm gonna get myself in debt, and I'm possibly not even gonna like what I'm doing. I'm possibly going to change careers because I'm 18 years old and I don't have a fully developed brain towards where I can think what I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, gosh, at 18 years old, I didn't even know what I wanted to do like the next day or something, and I didn't even have school. You get what I mean? Like at 18 years old, you can't decide what you want to do with your life unless you've been through some stuff. Unless you're a very, very mature individual that just kind of been through everything, then sure, like you go. But the majority of 18-year-olds have zero clue what they want to do with their life. So they're starting to realize that getting into school at that age and getting themselves in debt just to simply not like it all over again is not worth the time, money, energy, like nothing. It's not worth anything. I mean, people rather go straight to work and, make that bag rather than sit there and act like they're, this is gonna help them when it's not. Like companies nowadays, I mean, it's ridiculous. They want you to be 18 years old with 20 years of experience. Like it's just not happening. They rather, obviously, a company rather have a worker with experience that is not gonna charge a lot. Just like my last point, they want a baby boomer that has experience and that can do the job and be okay with a decent salary and is satisfied. Companies don't want hungry graduates wanting a whole lot of money for almost doing nothing simply because what we deserve, like we deserve it because we think that we've we've been through these 4 years. They've been absolutely hell. Like we deserve this. Well, guess what? Companies don't care what you think you deserve. They're just gonna get what they think what is better for them. I mean, everybody does everything out of interest. Nobody's gonna ever do anything out of the goodness of their heart. These companies don't care that you're in debt. These companies don't care anything. They don't care about nothing. They just want somebody to do the job for the less amount of money possible. That's exactly what they want. Back to my first point. If AI is going to start doing that, then even worse, So changes in the work industries are going to be a big thing. People are going to realize like the education sector is going to be heavily affected because people are starting to realize that you don't need school to actually be successful in life. If you plan your life out ahead and you live your life and you experience things and you just involve yourself with the right people and right time, right moment type of deal, you have more chances of being somebody than going to school, getting yourself in debt, being stressed and frustrated for 4 years, and it's just not worth it. And last but not least, I definitely did save the best for last. So our planet, our global scale is going to be absolutely like I mean, everything is going to change. The United States is not going to be what it used to be. As I'm sure you know, the BRICS are forming. The BRICS nations are forming. Russia, Brazil, China, and some other ones. I can't really remember. I'm about to look it up. Let's see. What are the BRICS nations? And there's more coming. I mean, it's just a matter of time before more and more start adding themselves to the list. So Brazil, Russia, India, that's a huge one. I mean, India, no, they're underrated. People overlook them. India is huge. China, South Africa. Dude, South Africa. Everybody overlooks South Africa. I am 1,000% sure those guys are sitting on about, I don't know how many tons of precious metals, which are now going to become super valuable. So watch out for South Africa. So those are the countries that are in now. What's happening? These countries are getting a metal based currency. It's not, they pretty much don't want to depend on the US dollar. The US dollar is about to plummet. The US dollar is about to be laughed at. I mean, the US dollar is based on debt. Its power is held because it has debt, because so many people owe money. Like the United States whole economic system is based on debt. So it's kind of tough. It is very tough when your system is kind of based on debt. Even with the economic recession coming up, I don't know if they're going to really be able to stay on the top position for much longer. I mean, these new, this brick stuff, it's just going to come in and it's definitely going to make changes. I do feel like the United States is not going to be a world power anymore. It's going to be, I guess somebody to be taken considerably, but they're not going to be calling the shots. Definitely not going to be calling the shots. So it's going to be scary because who knows? Like, what are they trying to form? Are they trying to form some sort of dictatorship with this BRICS thing? Like, are they going to leave democracy alone? Are they going to? What's going on? Like, I'm very, very intrigued into this because anything can happen. Uh, we're in plain 21st century, yet Russia is invading Ukraine like we're in 1999. Not even older than that. Like, we're in World War II. Like, bro, it's going to make a lot of changes. However, I can possibly say that. So, I feel like in all of this, all that everybody wants is just to kind of get the United States out of the way. The United States have been, a powerful nation forever, and people are scared. They used to be, at least. I don't think they're scared anymore because of this new leadership. I'm gonna save my opinions to myself, but it's pretty obvious that people are not intimidated by Joe Biden, or they don't really respect him. Say what you want about Trump, but other people respected him. Either they respected him or they feared him, which at the end of the day are good. However, Joe Biden is the opposite. I yeah, I don't know. The guy is just not. He's not. I don't feel like he's top tier, but it's going to be a lot of changes. Companies are going to have to look out for that. It's a huge thing that they're going to have to look out for. The United States is not going to be what it used to be, and luckily the other, possibly not Canada. They're already pretty good developed. However, Mexico, we are on the better end of the deal. Uh, while the United States is just kind of going down, like everything is. I kind of feel bad. Like, the United States is simply just going down south at an incredibly rapid pace, while we are actually going up. Who would have told? Of course, everybody, including myself and my grandma, thought that, AMLO is an idiot. Like, we thought that he did have zero clue what he was doing. We thought, and I still believe he somewhat has zero clue. I simply just think he got lucky. I feel like Mexicans, I feel like we're those people that we're just simply super lucky. Like, we didn't really do much. If you think about it, he really didn't do much. It's just so convenient that we're the neighbors to the country that everybody wants to see fail. So we can be used, as a leverage on that. Meaning, we're about to probably get a whole lot of more investment. Our currency is getting stronger. All these things, but if you ask me, I don't think our president had that all well under control. I think he got lucky. I really don't think he knows what he's doing. I still don't think he knows what he's doing. He just got lucky, and at least things are looking out for him. But it's a huge one. Nothing's gonna be the same with all these things that I mentioned. Nothing is gonna be the same, and companies are going to have to adapt, big time, because the world as we know it, probably in a good 2 decades, is going to be completely different. And it's going to be very interesting. I mean, no matter what, there's going to be people that end up on top, people that end up on the bottom. You just got to take advantage of the situation and make the best out of what you can. And don't be late. I guess take the opportunities when you can. But that's pretty much it. Thank you.